Coach, I just wanted to ask, you've built one of the best home court atmospheres and, fan bases in women's basketball. It's not going to be the same this year. What are your thoughts on that as you get ready for the season to start?
Honestly, we're probably going to feel like most most programs that we play, outside a few that that really support women's basketball. Um, I think it's just going to be exciting though. The 3,500 people that are going to be allowed to attend our games, I do think they're going to be as loud. Um, it's just I'm not used to hearing my voice. I'm not used to all those things of 10 to 12 years ago that we didn't worry about then because nobody was there. But coming off of, being the, number one in attendance for the past, I don't know, 6-7 years, there's definitely going to be a transition for our players because it was a transition in playing in front of that many people. It will definitely take a little bit more concentration to make that adjustment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jeff. David, go ahead.
Hey, Dawn, thanks for doing this. With this class, I know that they've been committed for a while, and I'm sure that they had never had any doubt that they would actually sign when the time came. But how nerve-wracking was it to kind of have this great class on paper up until the moment where they actually signed their letters?
Well, I mean, Dave, it's not them that's the, you're wrecking your nerves. It's the other people that sometimes continue to recruit them. I think they call it flipping in football. So that's what you're more concerned about. But our conversations with the 4 that committed to us have always been, since they committed, they're signed, sealed, and delivered. It was just a formality for us to wait until November to do it. Great families, great, wonderful parents. They're all locked in, and our coaching staff did a great job, especially, over the pandemic where we had opportunity to sit down and talk to them, do Zoom sessions, and just really concentrate on building that relationship.
Greg, go ahead, and then we'll go to Howard.
Hey, Dawn, hope you're doing well. I just remember you talking with the class of 2019 about how, each of those players arrived at their own individual decision. And I was kind of curious if this class was similar to that, or was there more kind of, coordination, they wanted to play with each other, that kind of thing?
I would say we recruited them individually. And then probably, I don't know, when did we get our commitments? We got them in, what was it? See how this, we may have gotten them in August. August sounds about right. Probably sometime in July when they knew they pretty much, we weren't going to come out to see them play because we were in a dead period. Raven Johnson would ask, who else are we recruiting? Or she'll say, are you recruiting this person? Or are you recruiting that person? And then I believe I got a phone call from Bree Hall's mom asking for Raven's mom's number. And I really could not give her Raven's mom's number. So I had to call Raven's mom to see if it was okay to give the number. And then they somehow connected. And then that's when the talk started really flowing between the parents. And, when moms feel real comfortable with their daughters, they want to make sure they're linking up with good people and good players. And I think just Raven Johnson pretty much took care of that player connection and communication.
Howard, and then we'll go to Mitch.
Thanks, Diana. Dawn, thank you for doing this. Good to see you both. I actually have 2 questions, if I could. The second one's real short. First one is, you're a handful of days away from the season. Comparatively, how close to as prepared as you typically would be at this point 5 days out from a season do you think you are?
I can't really speak on anybody else, but we got a lot of stuff in. Like, we got a team that really has right now, they have a real good recollection of things that we implemented. They've allowed us to just kind of go through some personnel and some not personnel concepts of teams that we'll face. Last week, I believe we had a Gamecocks versus everyone. So we actually kind of went through like a South Dakota, Iowa State concept style of play. We went through a little Gonzaga. We went through a little NC State. So we were able to just kind of, not a total scouting report, just really maybe some shell drill concepts that those teams like to do. And it was good to kind of break up the monotony of just playing. But it's, our practice guys are really good, but the monotony of playing them has set in, so we got to spice it up a little bit and get them to lock in and focus and some other people. So we were pretty good with that. We just had a scrimmage against the practice guys on Saturday, and they gave us a run. We actually ended up winning the game, but it was probably closer than we would have liked, but the guys got up because we had officials. So it was like them actually playing in the game. So it was kind of cool to see them get excited and talk smack.
Sure.
I tried to get you all some post-game commentary, but it was not available.
Understood. And just really briefly, your recruiting class obviously is stellar, and it's not the first time that's happened, but you had to recruit in a totally different way. And I wonder whether you think you're more effective doing it this way or more effective doing it in the pre-COVID way that you recruited.
I would say, more effective this way, because I knew the players were home. Like, take, for instance, Raven Johnson. I had not talked to Raven like consistently prior to probably April. Like, I would text her and she wouldn't respond. And then April hit, and she was responding, and she actually was initiating conversation, and she was just checking in on me. And we did some competitions. Like, she got me in shape because we started doing some burpees. Like, we did 5. We started out with 5, and then we added 5 each day. And we got up to 100, and then we were doing 100. Then we added push-ups. So it was pretty cool, that we could lock into something that, she loves working out. So, I had nothing but time. So we did that. And, the conversations were every single day. Sanaya Rivers, we've always talked to her. Sanaya Fegan picked up more. She and I talked every Monday, actually, on the phone. So it was good to just kind of, we know they were going to be there. They didn't have any games. It was just more consistency with it. And Bree Hall, we probably would not have gotten Bree Hall if I think we went to see her right after the SEC tournament, right? That week, either that week or the week before. And we were questioning whether or not we should go. And it wasn't real. It was a little bit of COVID, but not a whole lot. But we went there, and I think that was the impression that they needed to take us into, where the pandemic took over, and it was kind of cool just to get them knowing that they would be there and knowing that we could have those consistent conversations.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Mitch and then Matt.
Coach, this class obviously is a lengthy class. I think the shortest player is 5'8". What was it that you guys set out to do at the beginning of the recruiting cycle approach-wise? Was this something where you said we want to get longer, because Anaya's also got some length on her as well, but it seems like that's something you guys are trying to emphasize in these last couple of cycles?
Well, with our recruiting classes, obviously, to heavily recruit the 4 players like we were, took a lot of time. And as you recruit, as long as we recruited, you're thinking 2 would be a really good class, and we got 2 out of the 4. But then you start having these conversations, and some of the things that they say to you, you're like, oh, well, we might have a shot to get all of them. And the 2019 class pretty much gave us that feeling of, hey, we might be able to get all of them. And did we specifically go after length? Nope. I mean, these are players that they've been on our campus. They've been to our camps. They've come to some games. So we knew that there was some interest there because they actually took time out of their day, utilized their money to come see us play. And then, once we got consistent conversations, we knew that, we got a shot. Yes, we're big. And I always, look back on our 2017 class and say, we won a national championship with big guards. Like we were big. So we certainly want that look again, because it worked to our benefit.
All right, we're going to go to Matt and then to Debbie.
Coach, I've talked to so many coaches over the last 8 months from the high school, college, and pro level, and they all say no matter how much experience you have, nobody has ever coached through something like this before. And I'm just wondering, there's a lot of focus on the negativity of the pandemic, but I'm wondering, how have you actually grown as a coach over these last eight or so months?
I think I'm a better coach when there's adversity. I don't know why. But it's the fun part of figuring things out. Like it's still a puzzle. You lose some pieces here and there, and then you figure out a way. If you even have to cut out the piece that you're missing, to place in there. And it's cool to just kind of talk to our players, get to know, what they're feeling, what they're thinking, how to continue to create a family bond. Like we've had Zooms with their parents probably once a month, just to make sure that we're covering all grounds and we're not leaving anybody out. And some of it was just to talk to them, just to check in to see if they had any concerns about their daughters and where they are. And we just tried to put them at ease. And we pretty much did that. And I think it's something that we'll continue to do, because it helps, to be a parent and have your child away from you in something like this. You worry. And we just want to put that to rest by communicating. It forces us to communicate even more. I mean, we're a communicating staff in general, but we've had to implement some more communication so everybody can feel really good about where we are. And hopefully, by the time that this is over, we'll be much stronger.
Debbie, and then it looks like we'll wrap it up with Greg.
Hey, Dawn.
What's up, Debbie?
Listening to you talk about Raven being home, I remember when you only could take a call from home without a voicemail. The importance of putting classes back to back, and from what you've been able to build from, especially winning the championship in 17 to where you are now, and then just a little snapshot on each of these players. I know Sanaya Rivers pretty well, but what about the rest of them?
Sanaya Fegan, she is super skillful. Like she is big. She's a shot blocker. She can rebound and push the ball down the floor. She can shoot the three. I mean, she's great on the block. She's got great footwork, great hands. Quiet though. Quiet. We got to get her talking. She's shy. So we've had that before, but she speaks loudly with her play. Raven Johnson, I mean, she is And she's going to be an Olympian. I really believe that because of she already has the intangibles. Like she will tell somebody where they need to be and doesn't mind, imposing her will because she knows she's right. In that she sees it all. She's worked on her game. Usually when I've watched Raven play and her team, her AAU team play, a lot of people played off of her a lot. Like they just way off. But she got in the gym and her 3-point shooting is respectable. She can get to the basket. She's great in pick and roll action. She's a communicator. She's selfless, but yet there's a selfish part of her that knows when it's time for her to take over and shoot the ball and keep people honest. Bree Hall, incredible athlete, smart, can shoot it. I think for right now, her best, what she brings to the table is her ability to be a defensive stopper. But she's got all those other elements. She's got a quick first step. She's long. She's fearless. Probably the four of them are the most fearless young people. And we've had some fearless ones, especially in 2019 as a class. They're just unafraid. And what I really like about them is they know what we have here. They know they're going to have to spend 2 years with, the other number one recruiting class. And they didn't shy away from it. But I will say, and I got to talk about Sanaya Rivers. I mean, versatility. She could play the 1, she could play the 2, she could play anywhere on the floor. Great court vision, competitive, can play both sides of the ball, can shoot Stephen Curry threes, can get to the basket, very, very unselfish. But I would say they are super nice. They're nice. Raven probably got a little bit of she's nice, but she's got a little nasty in her, which I like. And that's probably something that's missing from this particular team. So it'll be good to add that to the fold. But they got great moms. That's one of the things that we said that we will really make sure that the young ladies that we bring into our program, they respect and have some fear when it comes to their moms. Because if they have that, then you got a shot at shaping them a little bit. And you're not going to have to fight them on every single thing. But they do have a voice. And they're, Sanaya Rivers will talk. Raven Johnson will talk. Bree Hall will talk. Sanaya, we're going to have to pull some teeth with her. But they're gonna rub off on her and make her talk. So that's always a great thing.
All right, Greg, bring us home. No pressure. Right. It's better be a good one.
Yeah, seriously. Piggybacking off Debbie's question, to stack classes on top like that, what do you think's kind of been key to unlocking the recruiting like this? Do you kind of attribute it to, say, the national championship, or what has taken you guys to the next level recruiting wise?
I mean, what was really has taken us to the next level is when you come in a Colonial Life Arena. I think the UConn game was a big game for us, huge game for us. I do think, the For the Culture documentary really perfect timing, perfect. We got a commitment because they aired that right before a dead period, right on the dead period. It's the start of the dead period. And after the dead period is when we got one of our first commitments, which was Sanaya Rivers. And then it just all fell into place. So it is the culture that we've created, our fan base, our following, our culture, our, and our players that we have here, they only want to win. And they welcome other great players. And it's a healthy, competitive environment. And I don't know why. I think we're being repaid for all the no's that we've heard over over my 21 coaching career,